Hello and welcome to a severe weather update. This is an update by Microcasting St. Louis concerning severe weather tomorrow, as I do think the Storm Prediction Center is going to up their severe weather threats, and I am upping mine, and this is my latest in the severe weather stuff. So tornadoes in a moderate to high risk overall, damaging winds at a moderate risk, and large hail right in between the moderate to high, leaning towards the high side, therefore meaning a high risk category has been put on the severe threat map. Flooding is also at a moderate risk. So getting into the general threat map, you can see St. Louis in the low risk, Columbia in a low risk, Springfield on the border between a low and a very low risk, Quincy right on the fence between very low and no risk, and you can see that moderate and high risk in between Springfield, St. Louis, and you can see there that high risk is actually rather large within that moderate risk. So let's get into more details onto why that's there and what that's for. So starting with wind, no high risk for winds. You can see up to a 20 to 30% chance, leaning towards the 30% side of strong winds tomorrow. At some point within that moderate risk zone. You can see the very low, low, and moderate actually do match the general threat, as these are matched in most scenarios. You can see St. Louis, Springfield, Columbia, Quincy, all really within the same threats, but that high risk is not there for high winds. Large hail, you can see it's a lot like the wind threat, only difference being now you have a high risk category that is south of St. Louis. You can see it's a small sliver, but that does extend through quite a distance there. As storms are going to blow up, they're going to form, and this is where their by far best chance to produce hail will be. Due to updraft and where this line formation is expected to start. Multiple model consensuses have really started to strengthen that this is a significant possibility. Getting into the severe threat of tornadoes, you can see that does get up to high. That's leaning towards the 25% chance of things, and you can see that within that high risk. That high risk is massive, and I wouldn't be surprised if we had a tornado that was around an EF2, maybe an EF3, that did move through there. Not saying that it is going to happen, but I am definitely saying it's possible. Going to have to keep a very close eye on things there, especially if supercells form. If supercells don't form and we get lucky, then I don't think that we're going to get many tornadoes, but which I think they will, they do form as supercells, we could see a very rough day down there. And you can see St. Louis in the low risk, but you can see just south of there moderate, and then the high risk just south of that. So you can see tomorrow could be a serious tornado day. Don't think a tornado outbreak, that I don't think is going to happen, but I think a few dangerous tornadoes could occur down there. And then finally, this is the final slide for this evening's update, and this is for Saturday. Saturday's risk hasn't changed at all. I haven't even changed this graphic, but you can see Columbia in the moderate risk. Still the Storm Prediction Center having the highest risk over St. Louis. We'll just have to see what happens. You can check me out on social media at Microcasting on Facebook and Twitter for the latest information on the severe threat, especially tomorrow morning. I'll be posting a lot of what I expect, and thank you so much for watching. This is Microcasting St. Louis, signing out.